It was a peaceful Saturday morning in Maplewood Estates, an upscale, predominantly white neighborhood. The scent of fresh-cut grass filled the air. Children rode their bikes along the sidewalks and sprinklers sprayed perfectly manicured lawns. It was the kind of place where everyone seemed to mind their own business, except for Karen Whitman. Where are you watching this today? Let us know in the comments below. Karen, a middle-aged woman with a sharp nose and an even sharper attitude, prided herself on keeping the neighborhood safe. She considered herself the unofficial neighborhood watch, always peering through her window, monitoring who came and when. If something looked off to her, she wasted no time picking up the phone. So when she spotted a black man unloading boxes from a luxury black SUV and carrying them into the house next door, her alarms went off. Karen frowned, gripping her coffee mug tighter. She had lived in this neighborhood for over 15 years and never saw a black family move in. She watched from behind her lace curtains as the man, tall, well-dressed, and calm, carried another heavy-looking box inside. To Karen, something wasn't right. She grabbed her phone and quickly dialed 911. Hello, 911, what's your emergency? Karen's voice rose an octave as she pressed the phone to her ear. Yes, there's a suspicious man breaking into the house next door. He's black, and he's carrying boxes like he's moving in, but I know for a fact that house has been empty for months. He's probably a criminal. The dispatcher tried to get more details, but Karen barely let her speak. I just know he doesn't belong here, she snapped. You need to send someone right away before he steals everything. The dispatcher sighed, but followed protocol. Within minutes, 2 police cruisers pulled into the neighborhood, sirens off, but lights flashing. Karen's lips curled into a satisfied smirk. Let's see how he explains himself. Now, the moment the 2 officers stepped out of their cars, their hands rested on their belts, their eyes scanning the area. They approached the black man, who had just come back outside to grab another box or step away from the vehicle. One of the officers called out. The man turned, his expression neutral, but unshaken. He lifted his hand slightly in a non-threatening manner. Can I help you, officers? He asked in a deep, calm voice. Karen came marching out of her house, arms crossed. Don't let him fool you, she told the cops. He's not supposed to be here. I've lived here for years, and I know for a fact that house wasn't sold to someone like him. The officers turned to the black man, who raised an eyebrow, but remained composed. Sir, can we see some identification? The man nodded slowly, pulling out his wallet and handing over his government-issued ID. The officer looked at it and immediately froze. His entire demeanor changed. His partner leaned over to read the name on the ID, and his face turned pale. Karen frowned. Well, arrest him. What are you waiting for? The first officer turned to her, his jaw tightening. Ma'am, do you have any idea who this man is? Karen scoffed. I don't care who he claims to be, he's lying. The man let out a small chuckle before reaching into his blazer. This time, he pulled out a gleaming gold badge. Federal Bureau of Investigation Chief Director. Karen's smug expression vanished. The officers immediately straightened up. Sir, we deeply apologized for the misunderstanding. The first officer said, his voice suddenly professional. We had no idea. It's fine, the FBI chief said, tucking his badge away. His voice was calm but firm. You were just responding to a call, but I'd like to know why this woman assumed I was a criminal in my own home. Karen stammered. Her face turned bright red. I was just trying to protect the neighborhood, she blurted out. Protect it from me? The FBI chief asked, raising an eyebrow. Karen opened her mouth, but couldn't find the words. You assumed I was a threat based on my skin color, he continued. Instead of coming over and introducing yourself like a decent neighbor, you called the cops. Karen clutched her pearls. That's not true. Do you call the cops on every new neighbor? He asked, tilting his head. She froze. One of the officers sighed and turned to Karen. Ma'am, false reports to 911 are illegal. If you do this again, you could be facing criminal charges. Karen's mouth dropped open. I was just trying to help. The FBI chief turned toward his house, unbothered. You wanted to call the authorities, he said smoothly. Well, now you've got one. And with that, he walked inside, leaving Karen standing there humiliated. Within hours, the incident spread like wildfire. A few neighbors had recorded the whole thing on their phones, uploading it to social media. By the next morning, the video had gone viral. People in the community were furious. Karen had embarrassed herself, and now she was known as the woman who called the cops on her own FBI chief. The OA board called an emergency meeting, and neighbors demanded action be taken against her. Some even suggested kicking her out of the neighborhood. Karen, once the self-proclaimed protector of the area, suddenly found herself on the receiving end of the cold stares. People who used to greet her on morning walks now turned the other way. Neighbors whispered when she walked by. Some even avoided her altogether. As for the FBI chief, he continued living his life unbothered. He had earned his place in that neighborhood, in the city, and in his career, and no, Karen was going to take that away from him, because in the end, justice had already been served. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring tales. Together, we can spread valuable lessons that remind us of the importance of humility, respect, and human connection. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.